Keyshawn Johnson picked the Lions to upset the 49ers, and at halftime, he was sitting pretty as the Lions were shocking the 49ers 24-7. Then 27 straight 49er points happened. Lions wound up trailing 34-24 and losing 34-31. Keyshawn, what happened in the second half?
I have no idea, Skip. I was sitting pretty. Oh man, I felt so good. I was thinking about Richard Sherman. I was thinking about everything you could think of. I was just sitting there going, oh my God. Yeah. But they fell completely apart. They completely just fell apart in the second half. You think about the first half and some of the things that they were doing was just amazing, running the football. They had 150 yards rushing in the first half, 35 in the second half. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Once you're up, you're up. Run the damn football, man. Just run the ball. They can score 7, just get 3. You get 3. You had an opportunity to get 6 points in the second half, 2 field goals. But no, I'm gonna think like a player and not a coach. That's what Dan Campbell was doing. Because we want to score. We want to score touchdowns. Go. So he's thinking like a player instead of like a coach. Like you're within minutes of ending this thing and going to the Super Bowl as a head coach of the Detroit Lions. Instead, we now have to talk about you failing and making the San Francisco 49ers just look amazing in the second half. The 49ers on every single possession in the second half scored points. Every single possession. I don't count the kneel down at the end of the game. It made 0 sense. The Lions' second half possessions in the third quarter, they turn over on down, San Francisco 28-yard line. They're up at that point 24-10. They could go up 27-10. Could, right?
Yeah, easy.
Then they fumble.
That would have been a 46-yard field goal.
I'm taking that, though. Yeah. I'm taking that 46-yard field goal.
Yep.
Then they fumble in the third quarter. Then they punt 3 and out. Yep. Then turnovers on downs again.
And you had a 48-yard field goal at that point.
Like if you're in the National Football League as a kicker and you can't hit 40-plus field goals, you don't need to be in. If you can't trust your kicker to knock it down in this situation on the road, you need points. I don't understand what Dan was doing for the life of me. Oh, well, I mean, what are you going to say, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you got to give it to the 49ers. They finally did, Richard, what I've been asking to do. Give me double-digit deficit, come from behind. Yeah. They did it. I can't argue with them.
No.
They did it. This isn't 4 points against Green Bay. They actually did it. Right what we've been asking for. Brock Purdy and company cashed in. They're on their way to the Super Bowl. Hats off to them. So mad. Oh, I'm so mad.
Yeah, I know.
I'm mad.
So what I told you guys from the beginning was Brock Purdy was legitimate. I heard arguments. I heard fussy. I heard he got to do more. He got to do this. He got to do that. It was frustrating. It was annoying. But he continues to do it. And this time he said, you know what, Keyshawn, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to let my team get down 17.
Well, I don't think he let him get down 17 now. Stop that.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish my point. Because you said he went to the fourth quarter down 7 last week, and you said, that's not enough. That's just 7 points. It's easy to come back from 7 points. That don't make him good. So he said, let me go ahead and show you. I'll come back from 17 and take my team on a drive after drive after drive after drive. I'm going to do it to Kittle, Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk caught a big pass early in the game. He did it to McCaffrey, Jawan Jennings. Everybody had a part in it, but guess what? Whose legs? He kind of looked like a guy who could do it all. Kind of ordeal. He was a guy who did it with his legs and his arm. He kind of looked like an elite quarterback of sorts. You know, I mean, I'm sure if we dressed him up differently and put a different costume on him, we'd talk about him differently. You know, I'm hearing Skip try to twist himself backwards to defend Lamar and try to make Lamar's mistakes look more minimal than they were. But then I hear them talk about Brock Purdy like, oh my God, he just had a good second half. Well, Patrick Mahomes had 69 yards in the second half, and so he had one good half and he had one bad half. But then when Brock Purdy has an unbelievable half, I just hear the diminishing of it. No, I don't really like that. But the San Francisco 49ers made great adjustments. You got to give Steve Wilks a lot of credit. They were getting gashed in the first half. They were getting bullied in the first half. That offensive line for Detroit manhandled them a lot in that first half. Their defense made incredible plays in that first half. And then in the second half, adjustments happened. Championship medal happened. Championship resolve. Skip, this may not be something that you're familiar with. Your team isn't involved in these kind of games, so you don't make it here.
I lived
when you talk about
5
championship
Super Bowl wins. That's all 5.
And I don't. And the internet wasn't born, and I think I was barely alive. You know what I mean? I don't even remember those years.
It happened, believe me.
But when you talk about the I would have to look it up. It's because it's history. But I'm talking about resolve. This is championship medal, and Brock Purdy was at the helm. He didn't panic. Kyle Shanahan did not panic. He made the plays that were there. When the pockets collapsed, he ran the ball. When he needed a pass, he made a pass. There was a play, that 4th and 2, that Detroit went for, and you showed the clip multiple times. I thought that they would run the ball. I thought they were averaging 6 yards a pop running the ball. I thought they would run the ball on 4th and 2. I guarantee you, at the San Francisco 49ers, when they saw him line up and gun and say, hey, we're going to pass this ball, they took us eye. Whew. I mean, thanks.
Richard, should he have caught the ball? Should Josh Reynolds have caught the throw from Jared Goff?
Yeah, have caught the throw. Skip. I'm not getting famous like you. I don't play that game.
Wait. No, I want to know, is this a drop or not? Drop or not? Drop or not?
It's an incompletion. It's a turnover on down, Skip.
You have to catch.
It's a turnover on down, Skip.
It's
kind of like that Lamar play that you were pretty excited about when a guy missed a sack, but I didn't say, if he would have had that sack, then Lamar wouldn't even have a touchdown in the first half. I didn't have to say that because you know what happened? He missed the sack and Lamar had a touchdown. That's what actually happens. I don't have to do with the ifs.
So, Richard, help me out on this Brock Purdy throw. It came with 6:29 left in the third quarter, and it turned out to be a 51-yard completion. Help me out. What happened?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, 51-yard completion.
51-yard completion.
And all you have to do is catch it. Hits him right in the face mask. Hits him in the face mask.
Is what it was. A 51-yard completion is what it was.
It's an interception, and it turns into a 51-yard completion. Are you kidding?
What you want it to be. And versus what it is, Skip. It's almost like you thought the Dallas Cowboys were in the game, Skip. You're probably sitting there like,
Richard, was that a lucky
play? The Dallas Cowboys would have did this.
Was that a lucky play?
No,
should it have been
there's no such
Brock
thing
Purdy's
as luck,
second interception?
It should have been 51-yard completion like it was, Skip. You see the difference, Skip? I don't have to talk about what ifs. I can tell you what happened.
Okay, Richard.
I can tell you what happened, Skip. It's just an easy day.
If he does what he's supposed to do as a highly paid professional, if he just catches the football, then guess what? The score is still 24-10 Lions, and they've got the ball going the other way.
Even if you don't catch it, bat it.
I don't want to hear about ifs. I don't want to hear about ifs.
You just bat it down.
I don't want to hear Why when you're talking about the San Francisco 49ers, you give so many if scenarios? What if Lamar Jackson would have got sacked on the first touchdown of the game? Oh, what if he would have got sacked on that play? What if he had him in his grasp?
Well, how did this get to be
because
about
I'm tired
Lamar?
of the ifs. Because I am tired of ifs from you guys. I'm tired of it. What happened? It was a 51-yard game. It was a 51-yard game. It was a 51.
Yes, it was a 51-yard completion.
I can say that about a lot of plays.
All we're trying to say is Josh Reynolds should have caught that ball. Man.
Oh, come on.
That's the 4th and 2.
I hear.
You supposed to hold on one sec, Rich. Though on 4th and 2 in the NFC Championship game, everything is on the line, dog. You got to catch that. You just do. That was a hand.
I don't care what you're talking about.
He didn't catch it, but it was a handoff.
So why are we sitting here talking about it?
Because
why are we sitting here talking about it? Can we talk about what actually happened?
We're trying to analyze how San Francisco was able to win the game in the second half. That's all we're doing, man. That's all.
And so let's talk about what San Francisco did, not what if he would have caught that. If he would have did this, what actually happened?
You said Steve Wilks.
Christian McCaffrey ran the ball really well.
You said
Steve Wilks stopped the run. They stopped the run.
You said Steve Wilks made the second half adjustments.
Rushing yards in the second.
They stopped running the ball, though. They stopped.
Why did they stop? They stopped running the ball because they were getting stopped. They were getting stopped, Keyshawn.
Not to the level where you just completely abandon the run. Not a 4th and 2.
Clearly they
elected to throw. If Josh Reynolds makes that catch, they get another set of downs. They're moving forward. We understand that. If the defensive back decides that You want us to catch the football instead of allowing them to tip it to Brandon Ayuk, by the way, who made a hell of a catch in concentration and not giving up on the play.
He did.
You tip your hat off to that.
Yeah.
If you catch that as a defender, we're not even having this conversation. That's all we're saying.
But we are. We shouldn't be having a conversation because it didn't happen. So let's just talk about what did happen. Now, we could have a conversation about things that actually happened
Richard,
in the game.
can we talk about what Ayuk said right after the game? He said live on Fox, he said, a ladybug landed on my shoe before the game, and you know what that means. It means something
now,
lucky
I know exactly
is going
what
to happen.
that means.
Lucky
and
is
it
going
did.
to happen.
They won the game, Skip, and going to the Super Bowl.
They won.
So
we understand. We just want to analyze it, man. Can we at least do that? Can you let us analyze
But you're
it?
not analyzing a full game. You're analyzing the what ifs. The what ifs. You're not analyzing the what is. So they got stopped in the game.
Richard,
they stopped running the ball because they didn't have success.
Here's
in
a
the second half.
fact.
That was
During
what
the
happened.
regular season, the Detroit Lions were 23rd in the league in points allowed. So what happened in the second half was not all that shocking because it should have happened in the first half. They should have moved the ball a lot better than they did. But they were allowing 148 yards rushing in the first half, which is more than a Kyle Shanahan team has ever allowed in his 7 years in a full game. They gave up 148 in the first half. And then to Keyshawn's point, for some reason, they said, I guess we got to throw it to hold on to our lead. They just panicked in the second half, and the sky fell on them because they're not very good on defense to start with. They weren't all year.
Yeah, but they didn't help. Their offense didn't help their defense in the second half. That was part of the problem. Their defense and Aaron Glenn played extremely well in the first half. Yes, that could have been an interception by Brock Purdy, but it wasn't. It was a completion.
Yeah.
And when you look at the situation, the Josh Reynolds just catch the football. Or if you decide to kick a field goal, you had 6 points that you left on the field in the second half. If you get those 6 points, maybe